Last year, Voices for Utah Children issued a report about Utah taxes. It was entitled A Village Without Kindness, a story about how eliminating kindness coins is really bad for kids. Today, I'm going to read an excerpt from that report.
High on a hill lived the Hilltoppers, a small group of wealthy villagers with more kindness coins than they could ever use. Behind golden gates they kept to themselves, sending their children to shiny castle schools. The Hilltoppers had agreed to the Great Promise too and shared their kindness coins like everyone else. But as their riches grew, some Hilltoppers no longer felt like sharing. They whispered to the Promise Guardians, "What if we shared less and kept more for ourselves?" Some guardians stood up for the Great Promise, but others listened to the Hilltoppers' whispers. "No need to collect so many of our kindness coins anymore," they told the Promise Guardians. "Let's have everyone keep more of their own coins." "That would be very generous of us," the Guardians agreed. So they began to shrink the Promise Fund, and each year there were fewer coins to share. Regular Hilltoppers just kept a handful of their coins, while the Hilltoppers kept piles and piles for themselves. Some Promise Guardians ended up with extra piles, too. Pretty soon, the Promise Fund began to run low, and slowly the bright places in Utopia began to grow dim. The schools had fewer teachers, crowded classrooms, and broken playgrounds. Libraries shut down, the hospitals struggled, and parents could not find safe places for their children to learn and play. The sun seemed dimmer, and joy faded from the village. The villagers went to the Promise Guardians for help. The most powerful guardians told them, "We do have a lot of kindness coins, but we really must keep those safe in the Capitol Tower for a rainy day." What if I told you that some Utah families will get about $13 from the tax cut being proposed this year, and other families will receive nearly $2,000? But here's the part of the story most people don't hear. Utah's Constitution links income tax revenue directly to public education, services that support children. So when income taxes go down, pressure increases on the very system kids rely on. But here's where the numbers get complicated. Utah's trying to educate one of the largest youth populations in the country with one of the lowest per student investments. Families are not asking for luxury systems. They're asking for stability, access, affordability, and reliability. And all of these rely directly or indirectly on state revenue decisions. Because if we don't invest in children today, we will pay for it later. Utah's future workforce is not theoretical. They are sitting in classrooms. They are waiting for childcare openings. They are sitting in pediatric waiting rooms. And the story we write with tax policy will shape the opportunities for decades. Utah's story is still being written. The question is, what ending do we want?